So first thing we're gonna do is disconnect the battery. I've already loosened up this negative terminal because it's been sitting, so I'm just gonna give this a wiggle since it wasn't tight. Move this off to the side. Okay, so we wanna try to get to our ignition switch, which is gonna be under here. So in order to get to the ignition switch, we need to pull off this panel here. All of this needs to come off. And so let's look over and see what we need to do. I believe we got some 7mm bolts. There's one here. Let's look underneath. Looks like there's one right here. I'm pulling this cover off, and we've got a few under here, under the fuse cover. Just removing the fuse cover right here. There are a few more we need to get to. So let's get our tools and we'll be right back. All right, let's get to work. I had to go and get me a little blanket I put on the concrete right here. Makes it more bearable for my knees. So I think I'm ready to get to work now. Let me get you set up. All right, let's go after, let's get our parts tray out of metal. Got our parts tray right here. We're gonna sit down as we do this. So first up, let's go after this one up top. So first up, I'm going after this one up top right here. Okay, got that one out. I'm looking at them as they come out too to make sure they're all the same, so we don't run into any issues putting them back together. Got this one right here. Let's buzz it out. Looks like these two have to come out. Let's take a look at them to make sure they're the same lengths. Which they appear to be. Yep, at this point they're all the same length, so we're good. Take this one out. Let's see, anything else over here? Looks like we have another one right here that needs to come out. Let's get to that. That's out. Now let's take a step back. Give this thing a few wiggles. See what else is holding it here. Looks like this trim piece is gonna come out, so hold on a minute while we move this trim piece back. All right, next up, let's pop this top trim piece off here. See what's underneath. Okay, don't see anything on that side. Now let's come over here to this side. Yep, we got one screw right there that needs to come off. So let's go ahead and get that off of there. Okay. All right. So that screw came off right there. So I believe we got all our screws off now. Just taking a look. Is there anything else on this back side here? So now let's take this trim panel on the side, pull it back and see if that frees some stuff up for us. All right, so I'm looking around. I've got a few more screws that need to come out. There's gonna be a 7mm under here. You can see that, it's right there. That's gotta come out. This is the hood. This is the hood release. There's a 7mm under there. And this is the brake release. And you can see that there's gonna be a 7mm hiding out under there as well. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. That's got to come out. So let's pull these both off and we'll be right back. And I'm using a wobble head extension just to make sure I can hit this angle. There you go, I'm on it now. Let's back this guy off. Okay, this one just came off, and it looks like it's the same length of the others. So let's go ahead and put it in our parts tray. Now let's move our attention to the hood release. We're gonna do the same thing. Get under this hood release right here. And I believe this is the one that's at a weird angle, so you may need a wobble extension with some flex to get to it. All right, so back on the parking brake side, and I'm trying to find it right here. So let's see if I can get under here. There we go. Oh yeah, wobble works good. Helping to get that angle on there. All right, just came out. Got it and put it in the parts tray. So now we've got those out. Let's see how we're looking. So, see how we're looking now. Still feel a little resistance here. Let's go ahead and remove this paneling and get this trim on the other side of this. Okay. All right. So we got this trim piece out. I'm still feeling a little resistance in here. I think what I want to do, looks like we've got some bolts. Yeah, it looks like we've got some bolts right here. Let's go ahead and remove these two bolts and see if that doesn't free us up a little bit, because something is still tight in here. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we need to loosen up these two bolts right here. So I'll figure out what it is and I'll be right back. So these two bolts are not a T7, they're gonna be a T8. So let's back these off. I'll be right back. So I got my quarter extension on here, and I'm using my Milwaukee 3/8 electric ratchet, and I've got a quarter adapter on there just to back this off. So let's get on there again. Let's come right here. Sorry about that. Came out. Let's get the other one, and these two bolts look different too, so we shouldn't get them confused. These are threaded, don't have a point on them, and they're going to be an 8mm. Let's get this one over here. Okay, this one's out. Put it in the parts tray. Now let's take a step back and see where we are. Oh, that's it there. Okay, so I think we're ready now for this to drop. Just going around here and seeing what else we're hung up on. So let me take a look around and see what else we're possibly hung up on, and I'll be right back. Taking these levers here and pulling them down. Got to get these out of the way because this is being held up by these levers here. So I'm going to take this and just ease it off that spindle, and now should be free to come down here. All right, we got a little bit of work to do over in this corner. Let me go over there and take a look at what's going on in that corner, and I'll be right back. So we were able to put a little pressure on it and get it off. And what was holding up this side over there was simply this pin was in one of these holes. I think it was this one right here. So now we're out and we see our prize up top. That's gonna be our ignition switch right here. Ignition switch is right there. So I think what I want to do first is disconnect this connector, this bulkhead connector right here, this gray one. We need to disconnect it, and it looks like it's got a bolt. It's got a bolt on the back side of that needs to come out. You see that bolt up there in that circle? That's got to come out. So let me see what size that is, and I'll be right back. So this is the setup I'm going to use here. That bolt is an 8mm. So I've got 8mm quarter with a 3/8 quarter adapter on my Milwaukee ratchet. You don't need to use an electric ratchet. You can get away with a manual operated one, but this is just convenient for me. So sit you right here. Gonna go in, make sure I'm spinning the right way. I am. Go in right here. Yep. So that connector is backed off now. That bolt is out. Let's pull the connector off, and it's out. Okay. So we're just gonna pull that to the side and leave it there. Now let's take a look and see what we need to do next to get this ignition switch out of here. Let me get you situated and I'll be back. So we're back underneath now, trying to determine which size star torque bit we're gonna need to pull that fastener out. So I got you on the fastener here, and I believe it's a T30. So this is the first one that needs to come out right here. And yeah, it's a T30. So let me get you set up while we pull out these fasteners. There's gonna be two. There's gonna be one on the front side and one on this back side back here. So let me get you set up and we'll be back. Okay, let's go after the front fastener. Get set up. Put a light right here. Got my light up. Let's get set up here. Using my Milwaukee, I've got this T30 on a wobble, just to give me a little bit more room. And let's come up in here and get this off. Let's see, like it's right. Okay. That's the first one. T30. We've got our parts tray over here. We're just putting our fasteners in. We'll get it in that. And now there's going to be one on this back side. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get a good camera angle. There's going to be one right there. I think if I get you set up right here, you should be able to see me go in there and get it. Yep. There we go. So you guys stay right there. Let me get situated here. Let's see. Put this stuff down here. Come up top. Yep, there we go. Get on it. That's it. And this dropped out. So here's the prize, our ignition switch. We've just removed it. And if you have one you're replacing and you want to install it, just reverse the procedures. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so anytime we drop a new video, you'll be the first to know. Hit that like button and leave me some comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in any of the products we used in today's video, we'll leave some links down below. Hope you have an awesome day, and thanks for watching.